In this video, we will explore the meaning and difference between sale and agreement to sell in Indian law from an advocate's perspective. Understanding these concepts is crucial, as they have legal implications and can impact commercial transactions. We will delve into various aspects, including the definition, key differences, and legal considerations related to these two terms. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of the nuances between sale and agreement to sell under Indian law. Introduction. Welcome to our video on meaning and difference between sale and agreement to sell under Indian law. Definition of sale and agreement to sell. What is sale? Let's start by understanding the concept of sale. In Indian law, sale is defined under Section 4(3) of the Sale of Goods Act of 1930. It refers to the transfer of ownership of goods from the seller to the buyer in exchange for a price. Once a sale occurs, the buyer becomes the owner of the goods, and the seller loses all rights and interests in them. What is an agreement to sell? On the other hand, an agreement to sell is defined under Section 4(3) of the Sale of Goods Act as well. It refers to a contract wherein the seller promises to transfer the ownership of goods to the buyer at a later date or after certain conditions are fulfilled. Unlike a sale, in an agreement to sell, the ownership transfers at a future date, subject to the terms and conditions laid down in the agreement. Key differences. Transfer of ownership. The primary difference between a sale and an agreement to sell lies in the transfer of ownership. In a sale, the ownership of goods passes from the seller to the buyer immediately, whereas, in an agreement to sell, the ownership is yet to be transferred and will take place at a future date or upon fulfilling certain conditions. Risk and responsibility. Another significant difference is the risk and responsibility associated with the goods. In a sale, the risk is transferred to the buyer immediately when the ownership changes hands. However, in an agreement to sell, the seller remains responsible for any loss or damage to the goods until the ownership is transferred to the buyer. Remedies for breach. The legal remedies for breach also differ between sale and agreement to sell. In case of a breach of a sale contract, the aggrieved party can directly sue for specific performance of the contract or claim damages. On the other hand, in an agreement to sell, the party can only sue for damages, as particular performance cannot be sought before the ownership transfer is completed. Legal considerations under Indian law. Transfer of Property Act. Under the Transfer of Property Act of 1882, both sale and agreement to sell are considered transfers of property. However, an agreement to sell is treated as an executory contract until the conditions mentioned in the agreement are fulfilled. Legal formalities. To make a sale legally enforceable, it must comply with the legal formalities specified under the Indian Contract Act of 1872. It requires a valid offer, acceptance, free consent, and consideration. An agreement to sell also follows similar formalities but with an additional requirement as the ownership is not immediately transferred. Agreement for Sale Deed. In Indian law, an agreement for sale deed is an essential document in an agreement to sell. It includes details like the parties involved, description of goods, price, payment terms, and the date on which ownership transfer will take place. Such agreements must be in writing and signed by both parties to be legally valid. Conclusion. In conclusion, the fundamental difference between sale and agreement to sell lies in the transfer of ownership and the timing of such transfer. While sale results in immediate ownership transfer, an agreement to sell involves a promise to transfer ownership at a future date or upon fulfilling specific conditions. As an advocate or someone involved in commercial transactions, understanding these terms is vital, as they have legal implications and influence the parties' rights and responsibilities. We hope you found this video informative and gained a valuable understanding of the difference between sale and agreement to sell under Indian law. If you have any legal inquiries or require further assistance, consult an advocate specializing in commercial and contract law. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more legal insights. Thank you for watching.